Thoughts on the draft? You moved around a little bit to move up and get some guys.
Yeah, we did. It helped that we had a couple extra picks, to be able to do that, and we're real pleased with the draft. We're pleased with the guys we got.
The decision to draft Mercer Timmis, local guy. Can you talk a little bit about him?
Yeah, we really like his versatility. He's one of the most natural backs that I've seen in pure running the football, as a national, since I've been up here. But he's also has versatility to come out of the backfield. Can probably play inside, as a slot if need be. And we can develop him and his versatility in a lot of different ways. And he's just a really good fit for our offense.
Would you consider using a Canadian running back? I mean, you have Woodson as well. I mean, you could.
Well, remember, it potentially gives us ratio depth, right?
Right.
So yeah. So we'll see how the whole thing will end up being configured going into the season. But inevitably you're going to have injuries, and we want to make sure that we have as much racial flexibility as possible.
And picking up Jones again, sort of depth at a position where you play Canadians.
Right. Yeah. So we need to start developing. We have a couple guys that we really like already on our roster, but we need to start developing depth there and the next wave of receivers for this franchise.
And he's a sort of speedy guy, good, decent size. Can he play special teams at all, or?
Not sure. We're gonna find out. We drafted him as a receiver, but yeah, I mean, he played at a high level. He has the ability to separate on his breaks. He's a smooth route runner, and we're pretty high on him.
When you get down sort of in the lower picks in the draft, what are you looking for in players at that level?
Well, I mean, you always think about special teams and their ability to contribute, but also we're following our board as well. I mean, we do a lot of work for a reason, and Drew puts in a lot of work, as do the coaches and the rest of the personnel guys, to order our board in a way that if we're lucky enough to get a who we feel like is a quality special teams guy, but he's also the next guy on our board, then it just makes logical sense to take him.
So are you satisfied overall, Kent, that you got what you were seeking going into this tonight?
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. We were close on one other, but it got grabbed right before a pick, which typically happens. But really pleased with the quality of the players that we have.
It sounds like you went in with some specific, like if you look at the guys you drafted, you had some specific things that you wanted to address, and then just sort of went down the shopping list.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I think leading into the draft, we talked through that we were probably a little bit more focused than normal on need and depth, and especially when you've had 3 years of injuries that we've had, and not that we're any different than anybody else in the league, but we've had a real slew of injuries, and we've been ratio challenged in individual games as a result, and we want to make sure that we're just thinking multiple layers deep to keep the best product on the football field that we can.
Some of the chatter on Twitter, at least from fans, was, man, we didn't draft a kicker. Was that something you were looking at in this draft?
Well, I mean, we're not going to just draft a kicker just to draft a kicker. I mean, we're okay with the guys we're bringing to camp, and like I said, I mean, we've thought through all that, and we're good with how we'll configure the ratio. We have options there, and as it relates to the DIs, and we're fine with where we're at.
At this point, I mean, you've gone with used one of those DI spots on the kickers the last 2 years, and then so far the kickers that we've seen at the mini camp were American kickers. Is that the direction that you're leaning at this point, or could we see some Canadians sort of in training camp? You're not going to tip your hand at all, or nah? Okay,
yeah,
but
we'll see.
Okay,
yeah, but we'll all options are open right now.
Okay. Anything else that stands out about this draft?
I thought it was a quality draft. There was a lot of good players. But I mean, historically, if you look at it, I mean, you just look at percentages of guys that stick long term. I'm not sure that this class will be any different than the historical norms.
Right. And some of the guys you get late, like Daly was a later round pick. Mm-hmm. It's like you don't always know how they're going to turn out.
No, that's right. No, that's right. And there's a lot of early picks that are no longer playing in the league. I mean, if you go back and look at a 5 and 10 year history, it's pretty revealing. especially the most recent history, last 5 years.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay, all right.